Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Barely Even Here. Hope everybody's doing well. I am. I'm doing pretty good. I don't really have anything to complain about. Man, so here we are, episode 7. We made it. 3 more of these, and we're in the top 1%, baby. We're in the top 1%. We're already in the top 10%. We passed episode 3. It's a shame how many people give up. Don't give up on yourselves. Just keep going. Nobody knows who we are. If you're not doing this for yourself, then you're in the wrong game, my friend. You're playing the wrong game. Because starting out, nobody knows who you are, man. That's like getting frustrated because you learned a song on guitar and now you're not getting signed. Nobody knows who the fuck you are, bro. Just do it because you want to do it. It feels good. I get excited. I look forward to this all week long. That's specifically why I'm going to be uploading more than once a week. I'm not going to tell you how many yet until I get it all pinned down. At least 2. We'll say that now. Also, we got some pretty big news. We are eligible for subs. That's right. You can subscribe and support the channel. And maybe if we get enough traffic going through, we can switch this bad boy over to video. That'd be pretty dope. I'd have to build a set, though. That's cool. I like doing that. I've done it so many times in preparations for different projects that I never started. But here we are, my little bears, my little bear cubs. I wanted to think of something for whenever I develop a fan base, what I could call you guys. I was thinking little bears, my bears, because like Barely Even Here, which is how I spawned the name Barely Even Here. Anyway, I wanted to have something to do with a bear because that's just kind of my thing. And not like the gay sex thing, but just bears, real bears, animal bears. Have always just been kind of my thing. I think it started because I have this really, really old blanket that's got a bear on it. And I remember as a kid, that blanket hung up in my Aunt Ola and my Uncle Wayne's house. And it was there for a very long time. There's pictures from well before I was born of like my mom and my aunts running around as little kids. And that blanket was hanging up. So it's been in our family for a really long time. And maybe that was some kind of influence on me. But yeah, I've always loved bears. Anyway, damn it. The bear thing, I wanted to have some sort of bear in the name. And I can't even remember what I was originally going for. And then it just kind of hit me. Barely Even Here. And at first it was spelled like a bear. And it was like a bear that was kind of faded. Like, barely was spelled wrong. Like a bear. And I decided not to go with that. But I don't know. It's still early. Brands can change. Things get different. But I thought maybe I could call you guys my bears. We're in the Bear Cub Club. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe it's too early to be thinking about that. Maybe my mind's in the wrong place. I'm excited to do this, man. It's later in the day than I usually like to do this. So I had to wait a little longer. And I get really excited to do this. I get genuinely giddy, and that's why it's hard to do it just once a week. And, I'm in some groups and forums, and everybody says, oh, man, you just got to stay consistent. I mean, you can be consistent and add more to what you got. I think you could come with quality and quantity. If it's manageable, I think that's actually kind of healthy. Help get the juices flowing. Because my thing is, I feel overloaded with what to talk about. Okay, the way I structure my podcast, I don't really come on here with a certain type of topic, usually, in mind. I just kind of sit down with things that have just been coming across my mind, and I just kind of go about that. Today, I actually do have a topic. How about them sweet potatoes? I do have a topic that I want to share. And I hope you guys can hit me with some of your experiences. But before we get into that, I do want to give some big shout outs. Okay, anyway, back to the subs. Yeah, so you could subscribe and support the show. I want to give a big shout out to Dustin Krieger. That's my boy. He's subscribed right now. I know money's tight, so you don't have to. Just listening, that's what got us eligible. You guys listening and engaging. That's what got us there anyway. So, I mean, if it weren't for you just listening and being here, we wouldn't get that far anyway. We wouldn't be able to get support like that. So your support by just being here is plenty. Thank you very much. On the other hand, there will be premium content here soon. So if you're not subscribed, you won't get that. But I get it. You don't always need the plus version. You don't need New Game Plus. You could cruise right here with us. These are still going to be full-length episodes, which I promise I will get more consistent about that. I noticed that some of my episodes are only like 35 minutes, and then others are like an hour. And to be honest with you, that's so. If it starts to go stale on me, I don't want to draw it out. I don't want you guys to have to click off because it's gotten stale, where I'm just rambling about nothing or huge spaces in what I'm talking about. I don't want to do that. But I also want to I need to point something out. So you can watch all of these episodes on YouTube or listen to them on YouTube, except for episode 4, because I bought an external hard drive for my MacBook. And, well, actually, I didn't. A buddy of mine did. He bought it from a pawn shop, but he was just going to use it for like his Xbox or something, or maybe his computer, and it wasn't really working right. It was his computer. His computer didn't want to read it. But it worked fine on our consoles like Xbox, PlayStation. So I ran out of room and I needed a storage device. He let me have that and I plugged it in, and it wasn't acting right. Like, by not acting right, I was trying to move files to it and it just wasn't happening. So I decided to reset it and reformat it again. But apparently those files that I moved to it did transfer. And I don't know what was going on, if there was just some kind of lag, but it was showing that it was empty. There were no files there when I checked, but they were. Luckily, it was only, well, not luckily at all, because if anything happens to those episodes, they're gone forever. 1, 3, and 4, all gone. So whatever's up on the internet, that's all there is. So I couldn't upload episode 4. That happened before I was able to upload episode 4 to YouTube. So I'm sorry for that, but you can get every episode, including this one, by Wednesday. This will be on YouTube. So you'll have 6 episodes out of the 7 on YouTube, and I'm sorry about that. Maybe I'll throw a bonus episode in there just to make up for 4. Also, a lot of people liked my daughter in the intro. You know, she does the little I forgot thing. I loved that too, but guess what? That was gone too. That was one of the files that was on there, and it's gone forever. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking one of my older episodes and clipping that part out and see if I can bring it back. What's funny is I originally decided not to put it in the episode where I was talking about like sex toys and stuff like that, because it felt a little weird. And the way I edit, that would come afterwards. So when I realized there was going to be that kind of content in the episode, I decided I'd leave it out, and then guess what? It disappeared forever. So that's why. But I appreciate that y'all think it was cute. I'll do what I can to bring it back or make a better one, but I don't see how, because that was so organic. She'd forgotten what I asked her to say, and I forgot what I wanted her to say, and that was perfect. Oh, actually, she was supposed to say, wait, what were we talking about again? So it was really close, but it turned out better that she forgot. And she was like, wait, I forgot. it was just kind of perfect. But yeah, today I do have a topic, and I'm going to try to stick to that and really stay focused on it. We're going to talk about self-love. I know that sounds a little corny. You've probably been hearing it a lot. It's a little bit of a buzz phrase, and it's something that's helped me go through what I've been going through, and it's helped me kind of I'm here at the other side. I'm at the point where the light at the other end of the tunnel is shining on me. I'm not quite there, but I'm pretty damn close, and I feel really good. Um, with my condition, there are days when I can only feel as good as my condition allows. But even on those days, it's never like how it used to be. It's just, I'm sad for no reason, but it's not like a horribly detrimental swimming in sorrow kind of sad. It's just a normal feeling kind of sad, but at the same time, it's for no reason, so that's not normal. But self-love is something that I had started practicing in ways that were comfortable for me. And once I had stopped doing them, I noticed a huge downshift, and it was not good. And I started to spiral, which still actually with my treatment and my medication isn't too bad, but it did knock me off the rails. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the way it made me feel. So I had to hop back on it. I'm reading some pretty good books. I have to give a shout out real quick to Angelica at Conscious and Curly. That's her podcast. You could find it anywhere you could find podcast. I think the most preferred method is on YouTube because it's also a visual podcast. But she's a lot about self-help, self-love, things like that, and analyzing people. I don't know how to do that. If I'm analyzing someone, it's because I'm being a little bit of a prick probably, and I'm just being nitpicky, and I hyper focus on people and what the fuck gets on my nerves about people. So if I am focusing on someone or analyzing someone, it's probably in a negative way that I probably shouldn't do, but it makes me laugh if I'm doing it. There's probably a reason I'm doing it. But yeah, check out Conscious and Curly wherever you could find podcasts. She hooked it up with a couple of books, and they were written by a Don Miguel Ruiz. He's Toltec, which at first when she was telling me about that, I was like, I thought it sounded familiar. The like Toltec people, and they were like a sect similar to like Aztec or Mayans, but their entire philosophy was just their entire civilization was based on knowledge and architecture, gaining knowledge and protecting knowledge. And this is Don Miguel Ruiz is a descendant of these people, so he's straight up got the blood running in his veins. And man, they're really great at changing your perspective on life and changing your behaviors in life. This first one I'm reading is called The Four Agreements, and that's pretty good. I don't want to get too deep into them because that's not what this episode's about, but the second one's called The Five Levels of Attachment, Toltec Wisdom for the Modern World. And these are both books that are going to help me on my journey. And if I feel this good now, I can't imagine how good I'm going to feel once I finish reading these. So thank you again, Angelica, for letting me borrow those books to read. And after I read them, we'll probably sit down and have a little discussion. And well, I'm not sure if it's a discussion. It's probably going to be one way. It'll just be me talking to you about what I thought about the books, but I hope you can appreciate it and hope you can find them and read them yourself. That'd be kind of neat. But anyway, back to self-love. So again, I'm going to mention the breakup. I had been going through a breakup. It's been almost 6 months now. I think what made it so hard was that it was drawn out for so long. That was one thing. That's what made it so difficult to get over it, because it's hard to get over something when it's right in your face all the time. We're dealing with getting her stuff. We're dealing with what to do with the dog, and it was just a mess. It was a really messy breakup. It was a horrible end to something that was really beautiful. We were struggling for a while, and we made it work as best as we could until we just couldn't anymore. And now she's gone, probably forever, and I'm coming to terms with that. It does suck, and I do still miss her, but we have to move past these things. And lately, I feel like I've been able to, and it feels really, really good. And the way I've been able to do that is by practicing self-love. Now, like I said earlier, I had kind of fallen off that train. and specifically to do with her, my ex. I was doing really, really well. I was working out every day, up to 50 push-ups a day, which I could still do. And I was going out, taking bike rides and walking, I'm sorry. But I actually was jogging, which is something I've never done as much like strength training I did back in high school. And I played football, I played baseball, I played soccer. I wasn't in powerlifting, but I used to lift like crazy. I hung out with the powerlifters. But I wasn't ever much for cardio. But see, what happened is I plateaued. I started this workout that I told you guys about in an earlier episode. And it got to the point to where it's almost too easy. So I needed to change things up. And I plateaued with my weight. So I needed to do a little cardio. So I started that and boom, dropped 3 more pounds from 217 to 214 in a matter of, I think, like a week or so. I believe it was like a week. I went and got weighed at the doctor. I had a doctor's appointment. When they weighed me, I took a guess and I was wrong, but in a good way. Self-love comes in a variety of different things. And I think right now I'm going to look up some examples. Let's check the definition first, because I am not qualified to just be talking about this as if I know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's something that I stumbled upon and that I am actively learning right now. So, self-love is the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. Okay, so exactly what it is. The practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. Bada boom. So that's even better. That's what I've been doing, and it feels really good until I stop doing it, and then I feel like hammered dog shit. Let's look at some examples. Get regular exercise, eat healthy, regular meals, and stay hydrated. Make sleep a priority. That's a big one. Try relaxing activities, set goals and priorities, practice gratitude, focus on positivity, stay connected. Pretty much, it's pretty self-explanatory. I guess I was pretty fucking qualified to just say what I thought it was. But one thing I noticed, when the breakup was fresh, man, because I already suffer with depression, generalized anxiety disorder, which I didn't know at the time, and also bipolar 2 disorder, which I also didn't know at the time. I had just been walking around with this broken mind, and when the breakup happened, I knew I had to look inside because I thought everything was really, really good. And for it to just end the way that it ended was just like through a text, bam, it's over. We're not talking anymore. I'll send for my things, sort of thing. Yes, it was like, I'll send for my things. But it got so complicated that she ended up having to come and get her things, which was very awkward because we did not talk. A couple times when we were sorting through the records, literally like vinyls, not like documents. When we were sorting through the vinyls, I offered to let her have a couple, which she denied. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't need to try to read people's minds. That's not a good thing to do. But I took it really, really hard. And I'm not going to reiterate because I'm already reiterating things. But in one of the earlier episodes of the podcast, I talked about how I ended up getting into my workout. And that was the first thing I noticed that helped instantly. Was I started to work out. And during that very first workout, I could feel it working. Taking my mind off things, helping with the racing thoughts. So then I kept that up. And then as I started reading into how to get over someone and how to get through a breakup and how to do this and doing more research on my mental illness, every single one of those things came right back to self-care. So I started doing that, and I started fasting. And I don't think people knew what I really meant when I said I was fasting. At first, I was fasting, monk style, where I wouldn't allow myself to eat anything but white rice or white rice with some shaved cucumber in it, or maybe tomato slices. I would do that for 1 day a week, which was Mondays. But some days I would do it on Mondays and Tuesdays, but I would eat more on one of those days. There were some days where I almost forget to eat and then not eat anything for 24 hours, which is not good, but I would remember. And I didn't feel bad about eating later in the day either, since it was just like white rice or just plain vegetables with maybe some fruit. And I'm talking very small amounts too. Not in a dangerous way. Trust me. It sounds, that's what I'm saying. I think if some people knew what I meant, but when I was like, oh, I'm fasting today, no thank you, when I would be offered food, I hope they didn't think I'm like anorexic. But yeah, I went off topic here. Sorry. Let's get back to the top. That's the name of the game here. Anyway, so I mentioned the I mentioned those parts of the breakup because this will kind of give you an example. See, I took it really, really hard. I got in my workouts. I started riding my bike. I started dieting. The fasting really helped. I just started building better relationships with people. I went back and started to build relationships with people that I had cut off. And when I say I cut people off, I mean I just kind of let them fall off. I didn't have very much self-worth. And I'm not a person, that does bad things. I'm not ashamed. I don't really have a lot of regrets in my life. I wasn't into drugs. I don't rob people. I don't steal. I don't lie and cheat and all that stuff. But I don't know what it, again, I have a mental illness. I'm not going to understand it, but I didn't have very much self-worth. And when people started to drift away, I kind of just let them drift away. So I started building relationships with people. I started making my bed every day, like Jordan Peterson says to. And that actually really helped because personally, I can't speak for anybody else out there, but me personally, I like having a clean room. I love walking into my room and it's clean and my lights are on and it smells good. And I got that Coco Roco playing. It's nice, dude. I love a clean room. I love a clean kitchen. I'm not like a neat freak or anything, but I don't know, it feels really good when the room's clean. So walking in and my bed's made is a really nice feeling. Throughout the day, I need to go in there to grab some socks or put some socks away or still change my shirt like 4 times a day. I don't know why I do that, but my bed's made and it feels good. To me, self-care is doing little things that are still healthy that make you feel better about yourself. And if self-care to you is getting a pizza at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, and eating that while you rewatch episodes of Will and Grace, do that. Does it make you feel good? Is it taking your mind off of bullshit you have to deal with stress? Is it keeping you from thinking about that horseshit thing that your mom said to you, that she says often, and you've already had a discussion with her and told her that you don't like when she says it, but you keep saying it? Do it. Do that to make you feel better. I mean, you should definitely do more healthy things. That doesn't mean, self-care does not mean, and this is one thing I've seen people do, self-care does not mean fuck everybody else so that I feel better. That's not what that means. That's you being an asshole. That's being selfish. Yes, you're going through things. That doesn't mean that you put everybody else at arm's length. If you need some time alone, do that. That's okay. Everybody needs a little time alone. But you don't just shut people out or make people feel unwanted or shitty because you are going through some things. Take some time alone if that's what makes you feel good. But I'm telling you, don't alienate your friends. Don't alienate the people that you care about. Or don't alienate the people that care about you. All it's going to do is perpetuate the stress because it's going to create something and you're going to come off as a little selfish, and it kind of comes off as, well, fuck you, I'm feeling low, get fucked sort of thing. Don't do that. I've been a victim of that, and then I've lost friends that were really, 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 really good friends, and I push them away. But I didn't understand what self-care really was. I do now. Get back into things that you didn't mean to stop doing. My buddy Dustin, he used to play guitar all the time. He was a really talented guitar player, and he just kind of stopped playing one day, and he deals with a lot of stress himself. But we were just talking the other day about it. And he was like, I really want to get back into it, but I get frustrated because I can't remember any of my old songs and I can't remember chords and I just get really frustrated and I just want to stop. He attributed some of it to age, and we're in our 30s. It's not like it's Alzheimer's or something, but I just told him, well, when you first started, it was the same way. You know, your fingers hurt. You can't remember the chords. You have to keep looking. It was hard to write songs, and everything was really, really hard. You just have to do it again. You just kind of slipped downhill a little bit. You got to keep going. Eat right. Eat healthy. Go get some boba, but get a good one. You know, get like a shake. Don't just get the most sugary boba in the world, because boba is a treat. Boba is a damn treat. And you can get it can be a healthy option to other things, and they have healthier options of boba. Get some boba. Ooh. Oh, man. Get some pho. Get yourself some pho. It's so good. Nice beef broth. Nice juicy noodles. With the cilantro and the jalapenos. And the lime. And the bean sprouts. I want some pho right now. But I can't have any. I mean, I could, but I'm busy right now. Talking to you guys. And I'm loving it. Having a good time. Let's see. What's another form of self-care? Here's what's weird, right? I don't know if it's my treatment or the medication, but I have to stay busy or I lose my mind. And I don't mean fake busy like playing video games, which is very annoying because a really good friend of mine, Justin, got me Blasphemous. And I played a bit of it, and it's hard for things to hold my interest when it comes to that, right? So every year around fall, I play a little bit of Oblivion, and then through winter, I play Skyrim. I don't know why I do it. Maybe it's some kind of trauma response, but it makes me feel good. I like the way it feels. I like to really immerse myself. And this year, it just wasn't working. Granted, the breakup came in fall, which back before I wasn't healthy, I was very upset because I was like, she robbed me of my season. When the whole breakup thing happened, it just lasted through her birthday's in October. It lasted through Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then now we're coming up on Yule. And then, I mean, if you celebrate Christmas, but I mean, for me, it was like we celebrated Christmas with our family and friends, and then we celebrate Yule here in our household. And then she's Jewish, so then we celebrate Hanukkah there with her family. It was a big thing. And then now there's just nothing but some heartache. But not anymore, because of self-care. Do things. Get a massage. Go get yourself a massage. And I don't mean have somebody and not have your husband give you one of those massages where it kind of hurts sometimes. No. But you got a little bit of money, don't go get coffee for a few days. Make fucking coffee at home. Because you can make, I'm about to go off on that. Stop getting coffee for a little while. Make coffee at home. Cook at home. Stop going out. Go get yourself a fucking massage. All right? Or go to the chiropractor. Do something nice and healthy for yourself. I'm not telling you to go get a gym membership. If shit, you should. But if you could just do calisthenics at home, at which I promise you, I've lost like 40 pounds just by working out at home. I just got a Gold's Gym membership because it's right by my house. But I just got that. And that's only because I feel like my workout has plateaued and I need a little guidance. So that's the only reason I'm doing it. Trust me, you do not have to have a gym membership. You don't have to go to fucking Anytime Fitness. You don't have to go to Planet Fitness. You don't have to go to Gold's Gym. You don't have to go to any of that shit. Just do some push-ups and sit-ups, and I promise you'll get there after a while. But you also have to keep your diet in mind. Anyway, back to the fucking coffee. Stop spending $9, $10, $11 fucking dollars on a fucking coffee that you could make at home. For that much money, you could buy the things that they're using to make like 12 or 20 of those drinks that you like to get. You could just make it at home and it's never gonna be wrong because you made it. You're saying, oh, it's because of convenience. Bullshit. Because if you had those ingredients in your house plus the coffee, take into account the drive there and the wait through the drive-through and then to pay And then if they happen to have some kind of seasonal thing or some kind of special going on and they rattle that off for a while, bullshit. I don't want to hear that. I don't know what it is about you people and Starbucks. What? I shouldn't say you people. That's you people is never a good thing. Unless there's like a comma and you're an alien. And it's like, oh, you guys destroyed your planet. And then the person was like, who? And the alien was like, you. People. Like, you, comma, people. Not you people. Because that sounds racist. It also sounds kind of blamey. That's another form of self-care that I've been working on. I'm trying not to word things to where it sounds like it's somebody's fault. And when I say things, I want to have accountability for my actions. Like if I forgot to do something, I shouldn't say, we did this. My daughter checks me when I say, oh, I hate when that happens. She's like, don't like? I'm like, oh yeah, I don't like when that happens. Or it makes me upset when that happens. Or that really gets on my nerves. So instead of saying like, I hate this, I'll say, man, I really don't like that. Or I'll say I hate, and then my daughter will usually correct me. Or I'll correct myself if she's not around. That's another form of self. I keep fruit in the house, which is, this is going to be weird. It's not that weird. It's really not that weird. It's weird, but it's not like a big deal weird. So I get these cravings for apples now. Because with my diet, I've been trying not to let myself have candy because I am a sugar fiend. I am 100% a sugar addict. And pastries that's my, I don't want to say kryptonite because it's so cliche. Pastries are my weakness. So what I would do is in lieu of sugary snacks and things like that, I would get bags of apples for like $3-4, big old bags of apples. And then if I had a sweet tooth, I would eat that. Now, if I go a while without eating sugar, we watched a UFC fight over at Dustin's house the other night. Oh, and got to watch Colby Covington get his fucking ass beat. That's something else we'll talk about. We're not going to get into that. This isn't the Fight Companion. This isn't one of those podcasts. We're not going to go into sports. We might go into the fight. But Colby Covington got mopped up, and that felt awesome to watch. Anyway, Dustin is an amazing cook, and he cooked this, I think it was pork belly, and I made bacon jam, and we had beans, and we had all types of stuff. And I was fixating on these apples, and I finally had to ask, man, can I get an apple? Yeah, dude. So I ate an apple, and it was so satisfying to get that apple in my mouth. And I think it's because my mind and my body now associate apples with a sort of reward. Like I'm getting dopamine from apples. So it's like I accidentally trained my brain to crave something healthy, which is really, really neat. But I'm telling you, it was a craving. It wasn't like, I could really use an apple right now. It was like I saw it and I would salivate every time I'd look at those apples. And I really think it is, instead of ice cream or Danish or something like that, it was apples. I replaced that with apples. So now if I haven't eaten sugar in a while and I see an apple, I got to have an apple. It's wild. I was even taking them to work with me because, it's a nice little snack I can have at work. Keep some fuel in me and not spend money eating at work. So I would just throw an apple or two in my bag, and then throughout the day, if it was a long shift, I'd eat 2 apples. If it was a rather short shift, I'd eat 1 apple. But either way, I was eating an apple. I was definitely eating more than an apple a day. So doctors would stay far away from me. But the craving that I got from that apple was great. So just that was a level of self-care that I did, where it's like, I'm not just going to be like, or I'm not going to give myself an impossible feat and say, I'm not going to have any sugar at all. I would still reward myself. So I would fast 1 or 2 days a week, usually 2 days a week. And then I'd give myself 1 day, maybe every other week, to where my daughter calls it a snack party, where we'll go to like Dollar Tree because it's super cheap and we'll get like some snacks. And that way I don't feel bad. I'm already, getting sugar, getting junk food, but I'm not going to make myself feel bad by doing that and spending a lot of money on it. And then it's like a double whammy. So I chose something manageable, and we'll go to Dollar Tree and we'll spend like $8 and get just mounds of snacks. And then we'll just pig out on that. Just little things, I would say they do have to be healthy. They have to be healthy options. So, I mean, you shouldn't be a glutton about things. You shouldn't go, if you need to go out of town, if it's like, you know what, I've been wanting to just go out of town or go to this certain spot by myself, go do that. I'm not saying just ditch your family or ditch the people you care about to go do that, or ditch your boyfriend or girlfriend. Talk to them. Say, hey, I need some time alone. I can afford to do this right now. I just really need to go do this for myself, for my mental health. And when I return, I'm probably going to be a little bit better of a person. As long as it's all about intent. As long as you're not just doing it. I mean, you could do the same thing with working out. Well, I'm going to start working out. That doesn't mean you should start starving yourself. That doesn't mean that you should start working out and lifting dangerous amounts of weights to where you're going to hurt yourself, because moderation is key. And just like with wanting to just go and be by yourself and go do something nice for yourself, keep it healthy. Get some exercise. Get back into things that you used to be really into. Who cares if people think it's silly now? Do it for you. Do it when nobody's watching. Do it when people are watching. Who gives a shit? Try a new sex position with your partner. Something you're both comfortable with. Don't pressure somebody to do something they're not, because now you're not doing the same thing. Or now you're not doing the healthy option of it. But self-care really changed my life around. Here's an example. I don't know if you guys remember all the bullshit we were going through with the fucking dog, because she left the dog for like 3 months. I wanted to get rid of it. Then she says she wants the dog. I try to get her the dog. There's something that happens every time to where she's not getting the dog. So I say, you're not getting the dog. And then she gets really mad at me. Finally gave her the dog, brought her the dog. Get a text from her grandma. She doesn't want the dog because it doesn't get on well with the young kid that lives there. Which is something that I had specifically voiced. That was a concern that was voiced from me. And guess what? Didn't bother me an ounce. Not a bit. Because I called this. I knew it was going to happen. Not because I called this, but I'm just saying. I called this. I knew it was going to happen. There's nothing I could do about it. Guess what? It's not my problem. Because if I even say, well, I don't want the dog, but I'll try to find somebody for the dog, now I'm right back into it. And that's what threw me off the train to begin with, when I was going really well and we're fucking back full circle. Fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes. I forgot to make that point earlier and we ended up back at it, and that makes me so excited. That's what threw me off the train anyway, the thing with the dog. I wasn't thinking about her. Boom, now she's back in my life. And now I have to deal with it. So this time, I don't have to deal with it. I'm not allowing myself to have to deal with it. I want no part of it. And bam, that is the magic of self-care and self-love, because I know that I am not going to put myself through that again. I want to stay on my diet. I want to get up in the morning and work out. I want to get up in the morning and go on my walks or my bike rides or jogs. I want to keep riding. I want to keep eating healthy. I feel really good that I was able to do that, and was able to just leave it at no. Do you want the dog? No. That's it. I felt the urge to apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. But I didn't allow myself. Actually, I think I did say, oh, sorry about that. I know she was really excited to get the dog. And then, she had kind of mentioned if I wanted him. And then she flat out asked if I wanted him. And it was like, I do not. And that was it. And it felt good that I didn't fall back into it. And now I'm all sad that she's gone and she's never coming back. So, self-care fucking works. Tried. It's been tried and calculated and proven, and it works. Self-care works. Self-love works. Practice it, even just a little bit. You're doing great. If you're trying even a little bit, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic as long as you're trying. Love yourself, man. Stop saying stuff like, oh, that was stupid of me. Oh, I'm dumb. What a fucking idiot. Stop even thinking shit like that. Think positive. Bringing yourself down. Don't do that. I'm so bad at that. But I've gotten a lot better at it when I started practicing self-care. And man, I got to tell you, it's life-changing. It really is life-changing to start talking differently and to start talking or thinking about yourself and to yourself differently. It'll make a huge change. But you're doing great. Whatever you're trying, I don't care if you're succeeding in it or not. Whatever you are trying in, you're doing fucking awesome. And good on you. I'm here for you. I'm in your corner. Now, go get yourself a fucking massage. Or go get yourself a nice taro boba. Thank you guys so much for listening. Another huge shout out to Dustin Krieger for being my very first subscriber. If you'd like to support the channel, if you'd like to support the podcast, go ahead. The link will be everywhere you can find this podcast. And we out here. Hope you guys remember to practice self-care. I almost said safe sex. That too. But make sure you're practicing a little self-care, some self-love, wherever you can get a chance. That's it for this episode, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I did. I think that bonus content is going to be really fun. I think that's going to be a really cool thing to do. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for all of the support. Thanks for being here on my journey. All right. Catch you on the next one.